views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Coming up on this edition of Perspectives, it is the largest annual gospel music festival in the country. And last year, COVID-19 caused its postponement, but this year, it's back. In keeping with the times, it's gone virtual. Emmy Award-winning producer and director A. Curtis Farrow will join me right here on the set of Perspectives as we talk about McDonald's Gospelfest. Perspectives starts now.
What's on your mind? Express what's on your mind. What's on your mind?
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference in someone's life. Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective? Let them know.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I am Daren Jaime. Of course, we thank you for joining us. As always, you can watch Perspectives every week here on Bronx's Channel 67. If you want to stay connected to us via our website, you go to bronxnet.org. You want to find out more about social media? Well, you go to BronxNet TV. And if you want to reach me personally, of course, my professional page on Facebook is Daren C. Jaime. And then also on Instagram and Twitter, I can be reached at DCJaime23. And of course, this is our 20th year doing some great and wonderful things. And we're excited to have you sharing with us here on Perspectives. I want to tell you, the McDonald's Gospelfest is started way back in 1983 and spearheaded by the McDonald's Corporation and the McDonald's Tri-State Owners Association. It was a way to fundraise and also support education opportunities within local communities. Well, the event has awarded millions of dollars in scholarship money and continues to do so. In 2020 would have been its 38th year, but because of the pandemic of COVID-19, other plans. Joining me now to share a little bit about all that goes on behind the scenes and how the festival is adjusted to the times is the Emmy awarding producer and director of McDonald's Gospelfest, my friend, my brother, A. Curtis Farrow, and one of McDonald's owner and operators, including several stores right here in the borough of the Bronx, David Singelyn, and we're pleased to have you both. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hey, we're happy to be here. How are you?
Hello.
Glad to have you. I'm good. Doing well. David, you doing all right?
Very good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
He's doing fantastic. Look at those beautiful golden arches beside him. You see?
Yeah, I see the golden arches.
It's always good. Trust me.
Yeah, and I see the throwback car. He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
How are you
Well,
doing?
Curtis, I'll start with you. I mean, honestly, I'm sorry.
I said, how are you doing? You're so wonderful. You always do such a magnificent job. And you know me, I always love to start out by saying thank you for what you do for the community.
Oh, well, thank you. No, I'm doing fine. And I think, like all of us, we're just trying to navigate through the times and the seasons. But I thank you for coming on and thank David for being here again in advance. And, you know, we're navigating. And I think navigating is a good point for us to start from. Because for you, 2020, as we said, McDonald's Gospelfest had to shut down. But this year, you're navigating. And we can look forward now to a virtual Gospelfest.
Yes, that's true. So what I have to say to you that we had so many people last year saying, please do it, Mr. Farrow, please do it. And, you know, we just didn't want to take the chance of, then when all of the governors had stopped all the events, then it was completely shut down. But the great thing is that our partners, McDonald's Corporation and the McDonald's New York Tri-State Owner Operators, who are really the reason that we do this wonderful work that we're able to do, we all came together and said, you know what? This is important. We have to keep doing this work for the community. McDonald's Gospelfest in the community represents success, and it represents positive energy, and it represents God. And I don't have to tell you that this time right now, during this pandemic, we need God and we need music. And there's nothing better that represents that than McDonald's Gospelfest. So the wonderful owner and operator group, like David himself and the leadership, decided, hey, yes, you guys, we must come up with a way to do Gospelfest this year. And I have to tell you, between Fox 5 and the wonderful folks there and all of our folks who are virtual, because we've been doing virtual work, everyone has come together and everyone's like, we're going to do this year, and we're going to be bigger than ever. We're going to have more eyeballs than ever. And we're still going to celebrate God, and we're going to celebrate music. And yet, hopefully, we will be able to encourage someone out there during this pandemic. So we're excited about it.
Yeah. And David, as an owner-operator, you participated in Gospelfest, supported it. What's it mean to have Gospelfest back on in this time virtual?
It's great to find out a way to continue to host the show. It's the pandemic has obviously forced us to come up with different ways of doing things. It's not just business as usual. At the stores, at the McDonald's restaurants, we figured out a way to safely continue to feed our communities. Throughout the whole pandemic, it was I think finding food is something that was taken for granted. That early on, it wasn't so easy to know exactly where you were going to be able to get your next meal, and that's something that we were able to offer throughout the pandemic. And with Gospelfest, I had to figure out different ways to do it, and with great partners, with Curtis and his company and his production, of being able to find a way to put on Gospelfest in a different way, and in some aspects maybe a better way, even to be able to reach more people. We just try to make the best out of any situation. Try to make sure that we're continuing to be part of the communities and support the communities, and because that's what we do as McDonald's. So not letting any excuses, not letting anything get in our way, just figure out how we can continue to be part of the community, how to support, how to do things maybe different, but also maybe better in some ways too.
Yeah. I want my producers, line producer Lindsay, when we come back, I want to make sure that we get that shot again, because I want all of America to see exactly what a burger looked like, the price of a burger back in the day. I got the real 15 cents. Maybe you're giving us a commercial. What's going to happen in 2021? I don't know. But I saw the 15-cent burger, and you see the card. That's an excellent throwback shot. We're going to make sure we get that, continue that on in the show. But listen, Curtis,
Yes.
Part of what you do is this great concert that really features a lot of the big name gospel artists. But interspersed in that, you have so much local talent, and and we have this great amateur, and sometimes they are professionals, but these are people who've done gospel music in different forms of gospel genre, and right there in McDonald's, auditions are being held. Share with people a little bit about how you get to that final stage.
Well, I guess I should really give them the foundation, because a lot of times people misinterpret how McDonald's Gospelfest started. The way it actually started was a group of McDonald's owner-operators came together 38 years ago. And that group of owner-operators said, we want to give back to our community. How can we give back to our community? And so they came up with this wonderful idea of doing a gospel festival as a way to allow the community, and especially those who have talent in the churches, allow them the ability to still perform on the great stages, like the pop stars, the rock stars, the folks who sing Motown music, the rappers. And so that's what the opportunity was then, was a give back to the community in that way. And it still is that. And I have to say that it is much more of a community program, and probably the largest, most successful community program in the country because of that. The community every year, they look forward to us saying, come and be a part of this great opportunity to celebrate God. And in saying that, we get so many people, Brother Daren. It is amazing, even this year, even virtual, even as a showcase. I have to tell you that going through video after video after video and sitting through live auditions virtually, I felt like we didn't miss a beat. You know, I missed the live and in person because I'm an in-person kind of person,
Right.
but we didn't miss a beat. The community came out, and I got so many thank yous from the community saying, oh, you don't know what McDonald's Gospel Fest did for me. My mother and father were getting a divorce, and they came to the Gospel Fest together, and they're still together, and this is 18 years later. Oh, you don't know what McDonald's Gospel Fest did to me. I was in the hospital alone, and the news was not good, and I saw McDonald's Gospel Fest on TV, and it gave me energy and strength, and that was 7 years ago, and now my cancer, they can't find it. You know, we hear all of those encouraging stories that I don't even think that even I, and even the McDonald's owner-operators, even all of the folks who are involved on my team, sometimes it's even bigger than us. You know what I mean? It's much larger than us, that the way it goes out and the people that it touches and where it touches people. And that's really what this is about this year. We want to touch people where they are and where, I see my little thing fell off here. There you go. Where they are and in their lives, in their communities. We want to still be in every community right where they are. And that's what this year is all about.
Yeah. David, what's it like? I mean, obviously to have this talent and come through the doors of McDonald's, right? At this time, they're not buying food. They're auditioning and they're showing off their talents and they're having this great opportunity to be able to do this. What does it mean to be able, as an owner operator, to see this happen in the community, something other than just what you normally do business-wise? I think you're muted, so you're going to have to come back on me.
Okay, how about now? Is that
You're on now. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So it's great to be part of the event. It's so well done. We're proud to be part of it. Yeah, I have family that every year they're always asking, "Can you get tickets? Can you get tickets? You know, we really want to go. It was so great last year." Obviously, with the virtual event, it'd be a little bit different. But you know, my father has been a McDonald's owner operator for 40 years. It's a family business that we have, and so 38 years ago, I wasn't around starting up Gospelfest, but my dad was, and being part of the community is something that I grew up knowing the importance of that. People can choose to go eat anywhere, but it's important. It's part of our business to be part of the community, to be partners. And when we get the opportunity to partner with someone like Curtis, to be part of something so special like Gospelfest, to be part of that talent coming into the restaurants and share with the excitement that we generate in the community from an event like this, it's a no-brainer to want to be part of it. It's exciting, and we just absolutely love being part of it and helping to bring it to life. Yeah.
I'll take a quick break and come back with Curtis and also David. We're talking about McDonald's Gospelfest, and yes, it is back. No, we're not going to do the whole let's gather together down in New Jersey, but we are gathering in a major way virtually. Stay with us. Come right back right after this. Back here on Perspectives, Daren Jaime here with you. We are talking about McDonald's Gospelfest, and yes, it is coming up right around the corner. And no, as we don't head to New Jersey, it's actually going to be virtually. Curtis Farrow is here with us. Curtis Farrow, I should say, is here with us. And also we've got David, who's been sharing a little bit about what it's like as an owner-operator. And Curtis, let's talk about this for a minute. As we go now, and you're looking towards this virtual experience, talk to us about what people can expect the day and talk about the lineup.
So we are very happy and very proud of people. It's free. This will be the first year that it's free, completely free, because it's virtual, as well as on Fox 5. And it's happening Mother's Day, on actual Mother's Day evening, the day of Mother's Day. The repeat is going to happen on Father's Day and Juneteenth weekend. And then the national exposure that it will also be on Fox Soul nationally. Along with, of course, Facebook Live, you know, all of those virtual normal platforms, IG, it'll be on all of those. So we're excited about it. I can tell you that this is the biggest show we've ever done. Just when you think about just the artists, we have Jonathan McReynolds and everyone knows he is hot, hot, hot. We love him, love him, love him. Erica Campbell, half of Mary Mary. Erica Campbell, you know, she's got her radio show. She's still as hot as ever. And I have to say to you, we already have her recording in, and people don't want to miss this. It is fantastic. And a lot of people don't know this, Daren. Erica and her sister were actually a part of McDonald's Gospelfest way back in their very beginnings. That's how they got started. The same as this man who has become Mr. Gospelfest, New York's own Hezekiah Walker, got his start. Him and his choir won McDonald's Gospelfest. So we're excited about the artists. I have another tape that came in. Oh my God, Yolanda Adams, wait till you see this. You are going to be in for a treat. And of course, you know, we have a list of artists. We have the best artists in gospel music. And we also have the best talent in the New York tri-state area and from around the country and from around the world. As you know, with Gospelfest, it is the largest in the world and everybody wants to be a part of it. So we have singers and artists from Japan. We have some from Italy. We have some from Canada. They come from all over. We get tapes from all over. Everybody wants to be a part of this community experience that a group of McDonald's owner operators created 38 years ago. You know, so we're excited about it. And I can just tell you that what will be different for everyone is that we have themed this year's show as We Are the Church. The one thing that I can tell you, and I know you know this because you're a pastor, I think we have all learned that it is not about that brick and mortar building that we call the church. We have really truly learned that each and every one of us carry our own personal church with us. And wherever we may be, we can feel the Spirit, and God is always with us. He's omnipresent. I know, me personally, I can shout anywhere. And there are a lot of people out there who will tell you they've seen me shout in the streets and been like, what is wrong with that crazy man? But we are the church. And so that is really what our theme is, because we want people to know this year, we all are a community. We all are together. We have to stay together. And thank you, McDonald's, for allowing us to continue to celebrate the community. So that's why we're there, and that's why we themed it. We are the church.
Yeah. And we talk about church, you talk about community, and really taking care of each other. David, you know, we were talking a little earlier, and one of the things that I was really struck by is that, you know, in the midst of this COVID-19 and trying to pivot, you know, McDonald's, in addition to supporting Gospelfest, your McDonald's, in addition to supporting Gospelfest, has done a great job of actually supporting your employees during the pandemic. So we were talking about vaccination shots, and I wanted to share a little bit with our audience about, you know, some of the things that you're doing for your employees amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
So throughout the pandemic, it hasn't been it wasn't easy, you know, in the beginning. But our teams did a phenomenal job helping us stay open as safely as we could for ourselves and for our customers, so that we could continue to feed our communities. That's what we do. And now, you know, the vaccine is rolling out, and we recommend that people get it. It's their decision. We provide them with resources, the facts behind what the vaccine is, and the data, the science behind it, and we also we pay them for their time off while they go get the vaccine if they choose to do so. So we don't want it to be a hardship where someone has to choose between should I get the vaccine or should I choose those couple hours of work. So that's something that in my McDonald's organization we started early on, and we throughout the pandemic always look for ways on how we can continue to get those members in our community food the way that they need to get food, but to do it while keeping our people the safest possible. Whether it was masks, temperature checks, barriers to help separate people, whatever it was we could do with the plexiglass and the drive-through windows, we were always looking to keep our people as safe as possible. You know, that's been our guiding principle throughout the pandemic, and will continue to be our guiding principle as we navigate through the recovery period.
David, that's awesome. I mean, when you talk about the work, and let's keep in mind, those people who work at McDonald's are essential workers. I mean, during the time of the pandemic, you guys were the ones who were really helping to feed people, and that's essential. But the care that you're providing and allowing them to have vaccines, and then to get the vaccine, and then not to have to worry about being, losing any money. That's awesome. So thank you for what you're doing right there.
And I will
Curtis,
say this, I will say this too, Daren. The great thing about McDonald's, and not because they're my client, but the great thing is that when you're in need, especially the community, they have always come together and they've always been first. So I really was amazed, like even during 9/11, because I was a part of it, even 9/11, McDonald's was the first to stay open. People were looking for food, but McDonald's was there. McDonald's Corporation was there, making sure that all of the qualities were up to normal speed and above. And I think we can say the same thing through this pandemic. I was really surprised that the stores weren't closed down for months, but thank God, because they serviced our community. And I have so many of my friends who, because they know I'm a part of McDonald's and work with McDonald's, I have so many of my friends, they see me, they drive by, and they just give me the thumbs up like that. And I'm like, wow, they give me a thumbs up. And then later I find out they're like, oh, I was at the McDonald's drive-thru the other day. Thank God I had McDonald's that I could still go to. The other thing I think we forget is that the great thing about McDonald's, we were all raised on McDonald's, and it is our comfort food. And what do we need more now than comfort? So thank you for McDonald's and for the corporation and the McDonald's owner-operators, the New York Tri-State owner-operators. Thank you for always wanting to be, a part of the community, not just leading the community, but to be a part of the community. And I think that that's why David and his group of McDonald's owner-operators, that's what makes them more special than any other owner-operators to me across the nation, is they don't want to just lead the community. They want to be a part of the community. And the best way to be a part of the community is to share. And so with that, I say thank you.
Yeah. David, I mean, there was a time when there was that 15-cent hamburger. Lindsay will take that closer look. People do not believe it. That the hamburger was honestly 15 cents. Cars look like they are right there in the backdrop. But honestly, things have grown and things have been able to progress. Talk to me about, just the progression for yourself and the transition and navigating. What has it been like for you as an owner operator having to navigate throughout this pandemic?
Yeah, well, I will throw a plug in there too for our mobile app. That if you are a subscriber to our app and have it downloaded, there's I know last year there was a Throwback Fridays where you would get offers like a 15-cent hamburger. So it can come around if you have that. So a shameless plug there to download our app, so you might be able to get one of those 15-cent burgers. But as far as what has it been like navigating through the pandemic? It's been challenging, from how do we continue to operate as safely as we can, to getting the supply to the restaurants to be able to do that. When supply chains were constrained, we have a great system and infrastructure to help us as franchisees make sure that we can equip our team with what they need to be able to continue to do their job safely. But ultimately, we never could have done it without our people. We have incredible people that work at our restaurants. We serve thousands upon thousands of customers, millions of customers collectively, every day at McDonald's. The service that we provide to communities by feeding them, it can be challenging on a regular day. Throughout the pandemic, it was no easy task to be able to accomplish what we did, and it's all a credit to our teams at the restaurant. Our restaurant teams just did a phenomenal job showing up to come to work, to continue to allow us to open our doors and feed our community. So keeping them safe throughout was our priority, and I think we did a good job at it. But ultimately, the credit lies to our teams for coming in, showing up, and making sure that they provided that service to our communities to make sure people got fed.
Well, let me ask this, Curtis. For people who want to find out more information, let's get it out there again. Who's on McDonald's Gospelfest this year, and where can they find out?
Okay, well, the best way, of course, will be on your website. We will have all the information right there, especially those of you who are watching. You can also go to McDonald'sGospelfest.com. You can also go to, I know I'm on BronxNet, but it'll also be on Fox 5. You can go there at fox.com as well. And even if you just put in McDonald's Gospel Fest, it all will come up to you, the many different places that you can go and get more information. And we're excited because the list this year is phenomenal. We have Jonathan McReynolds, Erica Campbell, Kelly Price, Tremaine Hawkins, Yolanda Adams, Dietrich Haddon, Hezekiah Walker and Love Fellowship, Israel Houghton, Tiffany Andrews, Group Fire, and Byron Cage. Now, 3 of those artists have the number 1, 2, and 3 songs in gospel music right now, which we're very, very happy about. So you got to be a part of it. It's going to be a wonderful night. Mother's Day evening I believe the show starts at 7 p.m. And then on Father's Day, it's a little later. It's going to come right on after Steve Harvey. And that's the Juneteenth weekend. So we'll celebrate Juneteenth and Father's Day. And then, of course, nationally, the Fox Soul presentation will be announced a little later. So we're excited about where we're going with McDonald's Gospel Fest. We're excited about the community. And you know me, I have to tell you, I'm excited about God. Anytime that I have the ability to celebrate God, and especially during a time like this, oh my God, I am being strong, I'm being courageous, and I know that God has blessed you, Dave, myself, McDonald's, all of these beautiful young people who are always putting this show together, Perspectives, and of course, our staff. That is why we come together. At the end of the day, McDonald's Gospel Fest is really about celebrating God. And that I will do any day, anytime, anywhere. All you got to do is ask me to do it. I'm there.
Yeah. Dave, I'm going to give you a shameless plug. We're getting ready to close. Got a little bit under a minute left, but please let people know where your stores are. I know you got some right here in the borough of the Bronx.
Sure, yeah, my stores are in the South Bronx, so we got 1 West Mount Eden Ave, Burnside and Jerome. We got over in West Farms, 1101 East Tremont, and then a couple more 167th and 170th. So come on by and check it out. We aim to be part of the community and serve you guys a quick, easy meal so that you can get on with your day and enjoy a moment of some comfort food, like Curtis said. So thank you so much for having us on.
Hey, no problem. David Singelyn with us as well. Curtis Farrow,
Yes.
Producer and director of McDonald's Gospel Fest. Did not get a chance to talk about the fact this man's been doing this for what, 21 years straight?
Yes,
21 years straight. So listen, congratulations. Looking forward to it. Mother's Day. Looking forward to a great Gospel Fest. I'm Daren Jaime saying, listen, you've got all that you need to be encouraged. McDonald's Gospel Fest is back in a virtual kind of way. You heard the names, you heard the celebrities. Now all you got to do is go ahead and watch. And guess what? You don't have to go far. You don't have to get really dressed up. That's the benefit of virtual, right? Now, if you want to get dressed up, you can. But if you don't, what you got to do is just flip on the computer, the TV, whatever, and watch it. But most of all, enjoy it. I'm Daren Jaime saying take care. Stay safe. Share your perspective with somebody else. It just might make a difference in someone else's life. Talk to you soon.